I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new, baby. I want to spend my life with you.
Turn me up. You can love me or hate me, but I'm spending my life with this music.
Spending my life with this music.
You can love me or hate me, but I'm spending my life with this music.
Spending my life with this music.
You can love me or hate me, but I'm spending my life with this music.
Spending my life with this music.
Spend my life.
And it's mutual, sounds so beautiful. Early mornings, late nights, sitting out the studio. Fresh pair of night gears, trying to find the right snare. And no matter where I turn, you'll be right there. It ain't quite fair for those that wanna take your place. For too long, can't mistake your face. Through the good and the bad, all the rights and the wrong. All these words of these songs, I'm feeling like I'm at home. And I'm never gonna leave. Music notes on my arm, got my heart on my sleeve. Always stayed down, responsible for my come up. Helped me get a whip when I was walking with my thumb up. And for that, I'm forever indebted. Gotta make sure I give you your credit. Don't forget that you said it.
Spend my life.
You can love me or hate me, but I'm spending my life with this music.
Spending my life with this music.
You can love me or hate me, but I'm spending my life with this music.
Spending my life with this
You
music.
can love me or hate me, but I'm spending my life with this music.
Spending my life with this music.
But of course. No shortcuts, might have seen no shortcuts. Really give you motivation and a little bit of inspiration. No shortcuts. Me and the boss ain't easy. Every day somebody needs me. It's no shortcuts. I wake up stretched, say a prayer, coffee and then some fresh air. Time to get it poppin'. I got a fresh 24. Hopefully I'm blessed with plenty more. Meanwhile, I'm thankful for the fire on the inside burning. I keep earning as the world keeps turning. The thing about life is you never stop learning. Hoping everybody Maxwell, Vernon. You make a plan, then you stick to it. Even in tough times, get through it. So get to it. And make sure your family's straight. We going worldwide, you understanding me, mate? Providing a platform where like minds can meet. Closed mouths don't get fed, want everybody to eat. On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Tuesdays at noon, let's all get rich. It's no shortcuts. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the No Shortcut Show. Microphone check, 1 2 1 2.
What's up, brother?
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Out there in internet land, thank you for joining us live right now on YouTube.
Hey.
Or if you're catching a replay on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch, whatever means or medium you're tuned in right now
We're in
to
all
the
those
No
places.
Shortcut Show. All of those places, like Santa Claus on Christmas Eve, you know? Welcome to another edition of No Shortcuts with Midas and Fade. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on installment number 117 today.
Yeah, man.
This is season 4, episode 2. So we hope you guys have started your new year off with a blast and that you're headed in the right direction as far as not just your business endeavors, but life endeavors and things in general. Hopefully you have set some obtainable goals for yourself and you're striving towards them. My brother's in the house, former guest of the platform, CEO of Smooth Sales. If you need to do some online shoppings, Amazon is not your only choice. Ladies and gentlemen, please check out Smooth Sales. He has a little bit of everything you may want, everything you may need.
That's right, he does. I was trying to hit him up this weekend. I was in Florence, actually. My daughter had a cheer competition in Florence, but it was it was right there by the mall, and time was so delayed, and by the time they got to the awards and all that kind of stuff, we had to get on back to the crib. But what's up to
Yeah, that's
Juan?
cool, man.
Juan is joining
Yeah,
us of the Travel People
Juan
podcast. Happy New Year,
Velasquez.
Juan.
Yeah, friend of the community, a former member several times. Excuse me, former guest several times.
Yeah,
Member
yeah.
of our No Shortcuts community, faithful support, as well as my brother. And yeah, cruise planners, ladies and gentlemen. So, Jerry, let's get together in the studio.
Yeah, he
Hey, we
wants you
can
to do a
talk
theme
about
song.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've
He's
done
done
one for.
multiple theme songs now. Park
Yeah,
Place
yeah,
Entertainment
yeah,
theme song.
yeah. We have to negotiate a price though.
Yeah. You only
We have to.
that's you put it
Yeah.
out. You put it out there, you know, a couple
Yeah, yeah.
charitable
I mean, it's a
ones
theme.
just
It's
to
a
let
theme
people
song.
know.
No, no.
And
Well,
now you know what I do. Now you got to pay for
no.
it.
All the ones I've done, I've
Yeah.
been compensated for. Now,
Absolutely.
LA for Lim, he plays my music
On his radio
you know,
station,
on his.
yeah.
Yeah. So that one
Yeah.
makes sense. But hey, I'm
Yeah.
here, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
here, guys. Come to me for your theme song for your, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Especially right now before I get too busy, because you better
For
catch
sure.
me in the winter months.
For some of them, depending on what the budget is, you might just get keyboard instrumental themes. You may not get
Yeah,
vocals
yeah.
on it.
Whatever you want. Whatever. We can do a barter and trade. I might need a little cruise, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whatever
that's
I get
true.
a gap, you know. We'll figure it out, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever's
absolutely.
feasible. It ain't always got to be about finances, you know, but we can you got oranges, I got apples, you know, we can exchange. It's no problem. No
Make this
problem.
fruit salad happen.
Yeah, yeah, at the fruit stand. You want to sit down though.
That's true. What's up, man?
Yeah.
I know this has been kind of downtime for both of our businesses, but what's been going on with you since the last time we
Man.
convened last Tuesday?
So yeah, so let's see. Okay, so last Thursday I was with Chef Shanali and Mindy over at CCB
Yeah.
Bistro and Vine. We had a lovely time over there, man, because you know in our area they were predicting a winter snowstorm, you know, coming
Right.
in Friday, which ended up being kind of a ripoff from how they were building it up. But
Didn't really happen.
I think you got to they just flew on through, you know.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I think that
What
helped
up,
us
Barrett?
have a good crowd. Barrett, All About Nothing podcast,
What's up,
former
brother?
guest on our platform. We had a chance to collaborate with them. Welcome, bro. Thank you for joining us today. But due to the expectation of inclement weather for Friday, I think that kind of helped boost everyone to want to get out a little bit on Thursday. And we had a great crowd, man, and wonderful energy as always over there at CCB Bistro and Vine. You know, so
That's
it was
great.
a packed house.
And it was just you and Brandon?
Yeah,
Just duo?
yeah, just a duo.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Good
Yeah,
time.
now
I saw the post for it and all that, and I was like, oh, we can't get up to Rock Hill on Thursday night, but it was all good.
Yeah. So after the gig, I went to the grocery store. Yeah, just to make sure, you know, because Friday they call it. Yeah, I went ahead to the
Yeah.
grocery store, and no,
Yeah.
I didn't go for bread and milk to make a milk sandwich.
Yeah.
Although all of that was gone, all of the
It
bread
was.
and milk was gone.
Yeah.
We're gonna dig into the meanings of why that happens, but I just wanted to get some things just because it's like if it's the bad weather coming, I don't want to be scrambling to go
Yeah.
get food and the little essentials that I want to make sure I have. here with me.
Absolutely.
So, but with that being said, Friday and Saturday was clear. Not only weather, but my schedule.
Yeah.
and, then,
Yeah.
and then I went to church. You know, shout out to the lovely folks at Mount Dewell Baptist Church. I was there on Sunday, and as I always say, hit the reset button on Monday, and here we are for
Yeah.
another installment, episode 117. We here.
117, man. Absolutely. And before we introduce our guests, I want to get you to talk about, you know, what this show is. But I'll tell you real quick, when I didn't do much this past week as well. I didn't have any gigs. I'm off until second weekend of February is my first wedding of this new season. And so I have a few weeks off, and I'm just using that few weeks to kind of, you know, recoup a little bit because it was a wild fall, but also to kind of revamp things and get some of the business stuff in order. I'm rebuilding my website. You know, taking a look at some of my processes to see, you know, what worked last year, what didn't work, and, you know, what can use some tweaking. But the website, I'm building that from scratch. So it's taking a little bit longer, but I should be done with it before February hits, because I kind of do. I do a couple hours a day just to make sure I don't, you know, get bored or
Yeah.
lose focus with
Yeah.
it. Gotta
The
take the dog
Shawshank
out.
method.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was you who let the dogs out.
Yeah. And then I'll just be working on, like my music collection, kind of getting that reorganized for the new year, and don't want to be sorting through thousands of songs when I'm looking for stuff. So
Oh man.
getting
Yes.
getting the
Yes.
playlist in order. So that's how I'm spending my downtime.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
we
And
have a
that's
lot of
smart.
other, yeah, it is. We have a lot of other business owners and hustlers and watching us all the time as well. So I wanna know what you guys are doing to fill your downtime. If you have down
Yeah.
seasons, especially like we do, in performing and entertainment, what's your down season like, and what are you doing? What are you doing with it? How you other than obviously spending time with the family as well, and
Yeah.
taking advantage of these weekends home. Like I said, I could take my daughter to her cheer competition because it was on a Saturday, and normally I miss all that stuff because my work is on Saturdays. But it was
Yeah.
good to be
Yeah.
able to do that. It
Yeah.
was good to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
So let's
Yeah.
give a quick recap, and you will be the master of ceremonies here, of course, to let
As
our
usual.
new viewers know what this show is and why we do it.
Yeah, shout out to the first time and last time listeners. We appreciate you just the same. Your stats count just as much as the ones who come every week. But no, ladies, in all seriousness, this is a platform that DJ Famous presented me an opportunity for me to be a co-owner, a co-host, all of these things. But where this is basically a hub, ladies and gentlemen, where like-minded individuals we can gather, have a meeting of the mind, so to speak, with the understanding that everybody, as an individual, you have a talent or a skill set that is unique to yourself, that that you're passionate about, that you would probably do for free, whether there's compensation
Yeah.
involved or not. We'll take the compensation
Yeah,
though.
we'll take it.
But so what we wanted to do was have a hub, like I said, or have a launching pad where we could meet, we could have discussions, not just about our own journeys as far as what we do or whatever industry we may be in, because this platform is open to all industries, and with the understanding everybody has a story to share, everybody has a journey that they can share. Through sharing their journey, they can help us as well as you guys at home maybe avoid certain pitfalls when it comes to being a business for yourself. Not only that, but we can also inspire others who may be straddling the fence, for lack of a better term, or just procrastinating to get started. We want to inspire you guys, and I will say, since we've been doing this platform, we've had several people start their own business, start their own podcast, things of that nature. So, I mean, I've been enjoying the journey for the last 4 years, and we're going to keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. So that's basically what we do here. Not all of our conversations pertain to entrepreneurship, but we also have conversations about life, family, different things that could just be helpful overall as we go through our individual journeys of life. So that's
absolutely
brief synopsis. If I'd known you was gonna ask me, I'd have wrote something down.
I know you could do it. I know you're a writer, man. You could do it right off the dome. You could do it right off the dome for sure. But this is our fourth year. Our fourth year doing this show. We used to do it in prime time at night, and then we moved this thing to noon hours, and it's been going great. It's been going great, and I appreciate you, my brother.
Man, and likewise, you already know.
Yeah. So we have a guest today. We are rolling strong this year so far, and I guess I've known this brother for probably about 10 years now, or maybe a little more. He is a public speaker, a pastor, a certified life and executive leadership coach with over 15 years of leadership experience and a passion for empowering others. So y'all, let's welcome, put some ones and some claps and some all those things in the chat for Jayson Price.
Hey, welcome.
How y'all doing, man?
What's up?
Doing fantastic. We appreciate you so much for joining us today, and being willing to share your story with us, in hopes to, like I said, inspire others to do whatever it is they may be called to do, walking in their
Absolutely.
purpose.
It's such an honor to be here, man. Thank you guys for having me on, and I love what you guys are doing, hearing the people you are helping in the internet space, man. It's incredible. So thank you for what you do.
Hey, I appreciate
it's very
that,
fulfilling.
man. Yeah, it
Very
really is.
fulfilling.
And Jayson brought some people with him. I see John Merkel
Yeah,
is here.
yeah. Let's do a little roll
Jay
call.
Murray.
Yeah, I appreciate
Okay.
it. Thanks for joining us, John. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, brother.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed, feel free to share this. If you're on Facebook right now, click the share and upload it to your home page. And let's get a few more people in here. Let's have a grand old time today, you know.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, back to
absolutely. Before we get started with Jayson, I just want to acknowledge Juan's comment when I asked about down seasons in his industry. He says it's wave season in the travel industry, the best time of the year to book travel vacations and more. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So Juan is working. AKA
Yeah.
Juan is working right
always.
now.
Yeah, always.
And that phone number is about to appear in the chat. Y'all just wait on
Yeah.
it. It'll be there.
Yeah, if you need to make some vacation plans, give him a shout, ladies and gentlemen. He's not limited to just cruises. Cruises is the specialty. But if you just need to get out the house and take a little trip, give him a shout.
Listen, I'm in the right place. Me and my wife want to go on a cruise in second quarter.
Hey,
so we gonna hit 'em up.
okay.
Listen,
Yeah.
Juan is the guy.
Absolutely.
Juan is the guy.
Yeah.
We just did some business with him just a few weeks ago for next year. So
Love
he's
it.
the guy. He'll send you from Bermuda to Concord Mills, man. It don't matter.
Let's go.
Yeah. All in a boat.
He got you. He got you.
Have you ever pulled up the Concord Mills with a boat?
Wow.
He got you.
He'll make it happen. He'll make it happen.
So Jayson, we really appreciate it, man. I like I said in the intro, man, we've known each other for quite a while, and I've been watching what you've been doing recently, especially, and I love it. And I said, oh, it's a new year. I gotta get Jayson on the show. I hit him up one time, and he said, say less. He said, say less. So let's go.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about the new year. Grateful to be able to be in the executive coaching space with my company BeyondYou. We coach CEOs, entrepreneurs, business owners to take their leadership and their team to the next level. And so it's been exciting. And I think the biggest thing that I would love to share with your audience today, that no matter where they are in their journey, it's never a wrong time to get coaching, to get someone to give you perspective on how to grow what you have or lead better. And the cool thing about what we do, Travis, is that within my space, it's not just me. I actually have a network of other coaches and business owners that are part of the BeyondYou network. And what we do is we help each other refer clients and win. And so it's not just about what I'm building, it's about I'm building other businesses alongside mine. And so that network partnership has taken off, man. We've signed people that are in executive sales. We signed people that are in CRM and customer relation management. I've just signed a social media content coach to the network where he's helping me beef up my LinkedIn, but he's also helping everyone in the network get their LinkedIn and their social media to the next level, because that's his business.
Okay.
And so being able, man, to help the solopreneur, the business owner, or the executive leader grow in who they are is what we do, man. And we're honored that this is the year. It's seeing some new light. It's seeing some new traction and momentum. And I just love being a part of it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Absolutely, man. You hit it right on the head there. This is exactly, in line with what our group and our podcast likes to be involved with, and what we like to showcase, and like we said earlier, other business owners, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, definitely would be beneficial for them to hear this and watch this as well. So y'all make sure you share it to somebody. Make sure you put somebody's name in the comments if you want to tag them later and say, hey, you need to watch this show, man. This Jayson guy was talking, so you're gonna hear some stuff. You're gonna hear some stuff.
I hope I say
today.
something good. Wait a minute.
We already know you are.
I've been in the room, so I know.
Nice.
So Jayson, let's start off. Let's start off from the beginning, man. Tell us a little bit about where you're from originally. What your childhood was like and things that you were into growing up.
Absolutely. Well, like I told you guys earlier when we were chatting before the show, I'm a recovering pastor's kid. My dad was in full-time ministry. He was also an entrepreneur himself. He owned a computer business before computers were a thing. He was a part of putting up the first satellites for cell phones. So
Okay.
I remember a time when we didn't have cell phones. Yes,
Yeah.
my father was
for
a part of
sure.
Singular before it was AT&T.
Okay. Yeah.
And so
I had a
I
singular
saw him
phone.
hustle for 40 years,
Wow.
leading a church and building a computer business when computers were not cool yet. And so growing up, man, I was in the sports, I was in the computers, I was into technology. I'm originally from Tennessee, a little city called
Okay.
Jackson. It's 2 hours from Nashville and it's
Hmm.
an hour from Memphis. And so
Mm.
I'm in music highway, right? I can go to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nashville. I played bass and produced music since I was 16. So I've been a songwriter and
Wow.
producer. And
Hmm.
so I did that all in my 20s where I traveled and toured on bass guitar and I
Mm.
played professionally. But
Oh,
then I
wow.
Ah.
transitioned. I was like, well, it's not much money in musicianship in my area. Unless you get one of
It's
the major
flooded.
gigs.
It's
It's
flooded.
man, it's so flooded.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
decided to go get my 4-year degree at the University of Tennessee in Martin. And so I got my business degree, and that began my journey in my love for leadership and
Hmm.
business ownership. It was always something I was really had a knack for doing. I started a bunch of businesses when I was in college. I
Hmm.
started businesses out of college, and then I went into the financial industry where I was working at a bank and worked there for 4 years as a loan officer to learn more about money management
Hmm.
and financial and getting at small business loans. Just got my repertoire and understanding for business up, and really wanted
Yeah.
to grow. Well, around
Yeah.
that
Hey,
time, and right on time, my
right on
wife, my
time.
lovely
Hey.
wife Charmaine,
Okay.
is
Hey.
coming right now. It's perfect
Yeah.
timing.
Right
Yeah.
on
Charmaine,
time.
Nice.
my
Nice.
wife, I met her when I
Yeah.
was working at the bank, and she was a school teacher. We fell in love. We were ready to just take off and live our life married. I've been
Hmm.
married now for 12 years. I celebrate my
Hmm.
anniversary
Oh,
next month,
awesome.
and
Awesome.
so happy
Congrats.
anniversary!
Yeah.
Yeah,
Congrats.
and
Congrats.
yeah. 4 months into my marriage, and this is where the story takes a turn to why I'm an entrepreneur today.
Okay.
4 months into my marriage,
Mm.
I make a balancing error as a teller. I was a loan officer and a teller, and I was great with
Okay.
people. Number one in sales,
Hmm.
number one in
Yeah.
customer service. But I was number zero in keeping the drawer because I was better with people.
Yeah.
Number
Well, they
0.
brought me in and they said, Jay, you made one too many errors, and we're gonna have to let you go.
Oh.
Oh
So
man.
4 months in, I lose my job as a newly married man.
Mm.
And it's
Wow.
not that I lost my job, guys. I lost my confidence.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
lost my sense of direction and purpose because I just knew I was going to be a business owner. I was going to be great at finances. I was going to be great at these
Yeah.
things. But they found my weakness, which was detailed. I'm not a detail oriented person. I'm a
Hmm.
big picture.
Mm.
I'm a visionary. So they found
Yeah.
that weakness and they let me go. And I swore
Mm.
that day that I would never be subject to just a paycheck or 9 to 5.
There you go.
Mm.
That's what put in me the
Blessing in
fire.
disguise.
Yeah, it was. It was. And
Yeah.
so in that journey is where I started my first business with doing coaching and going to the next level. I
Okay.
began to say,
Really.
I know that I'm a people developer. I know I'm great with people. But also, Travis, I went into full-time ministry.
Yes,
I
you
got a
did.
job that same week
Wow.
into a
You were
into a
busy.
multi-site church. A
Yeah.
multi-site
Yeah.
church. It was 5,000 people. It had 5 locations. It was a global church. I just came from a small little 100-member church to a global high-level leadership church,
Hmm.
and I
Mm.
needed to learn leadership even more.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
those years into that, and it was God using my misfortune in disguise to promote me. I learned so much about leadership and business within that structure of having
Hmm.
multiple campuses. I became an executive youth pastor where I began to oversee 4 other locations and
Hmm.
learn more about leadership and growth in the church business world than any
Hmm.
other
Mm.
job I had ever worked. And I had been a
Wow.
manager, I had been in banking, but in
Uh-huh.
that multi-site
Wow.
structural church environment, it fueled my entrepreneurship and it fueled my leadership.
Wow.
Yeah. I
That's
want to
amazing.
back up just a second, Jason, if you don't mind, because I too am a pastor's kid, you know. And you said your dad was running his own business at the same time while he was running the
He was.
church.
He would do
Yeah,
different contracts with Hyatt hotels, the government, and do their cybersecurity, do their networking. He
Mm.
was on his grind as
yeah, yeah.
pastoring and raising a family. Yep.
Yeah, and my father had a Christian bookstore, which he still has to this day. So, Praise and Faith Gospel Shop down in Sherrall, South Carolina. If you guys are ever down there, get all your supplies. But I wanted to ask you: do you think like just kind of being around your dad and seeing the things he was into kind of nudge you down the path of entrepreneurship as well as pastoring?
Midas, I feel like it did. I feel like it nudged me in the
Subconsciously,
direction
evenly.
of caring for people, making sure you can, from being a pastor, is that I didn't want to. Am I still here?
You good?
You good? We just had a little lag.
Okay, good.
You good?
One thing I did know from being a pastor's kid is that I didn't want to be a pastor.
Yeah, you see all of the behind
like,
the scenes. Yeah.
Bro, I was good. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a business owner, make a lot of money, and I'm going to give it to the church. You feel me?
Right. Right.
But God had a different plan. And I went into
plan.
ministry, but I knew eventually I would go out of ministry into the secular environment. Because part of my heart as a follower of Jesus is to reach people that are not in church. So that's what my music is about. That's what my business is about. I want to go into uncharted territory and really help people in like Jesus did in the world.
Yeah. And that's where
but
real
to answer your question, short answer, yes. He did definitely
and I was
encourage me.
Yeah, and I was just capping off to what you said. That's where real ministry happens, in my opinion, anyway, is outside of the church, where
Absolutely.
people, and I guess nowadays you don't see that as often, where people used to go out into the streets and the neighborhoods and conduct ministry and reach out to those people to try to get them to actually come to the church and participate. So I think ultimately that's where true ministry happens, out beyond the church.
Absolutely. It's a big deal. And that's what excited me about my journey. As I was an executive youth pastor at the church in Tennessee, I transitioned to Elevation Church in Charlotte because of the incredible work of Pastor Stephen and Elevation Church to reach the community. It lit me on fire, man. And I knew I wasn't done learning about business and growth and leadership. And so in my time at Elevation as a campus pastor, I got exposed to the highest level of organizational leadership, structure, development, building. I had a non-permanent location that we were able to move into a permanent building just last year, $6 million facility, and see that whole process through. So I want to encourage people that may be working for someone else. A 9-to-5 is not a dead-end road. It may be your understanding and opportunity to be a paid education, because all those years serving other people, I got paid to learn.
That's a paid internship.
That's a great way to look at it. That's a great way to look at it, man.
Me and Johnny Merkel, actually, who's on this call, we actually went through the Elevation internship before we became full-time staff. And Johnny, he just transitioned out of Elevation as well, but he also was over a department leading about 14 people over just learning more about social media direction and content creation. I mean, just an incredible brain.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
It really
I could
is.
only imagine.
I remember, man, when we met, you were doing the internship still. And I've just I've been watching you since then and following you, and when you got the campus out there, I was like, I feel so good for my bro, and I'm doing the thing. And I'll tell you, talking about meeting people where they are for church and bringing people to the gospel. Jayson came out to the prison last year and tore it up.
That's all right.
Yeah, he came out and preached. We did one of the weeks where we had baptisms. We were doing live baptisms, and we were thinking about, who can we get to come and preach this Monday? And I said, Jayson. Me and Dan at the same time was thinking, Jayson. Wow. And man, he did. Still talking about it now. That's man. He's amazing. A gifted speaker. So when I saw that you were transitioning into public speaking and leadership, I said, it's perfect. That's perfect. This is like this is what this man's supposed to be doing for sure. And still keep it in that same realm,
Absolutely. It's been a blessing. I remember that prison, man. I was wondering, where did we last hang out with each other? And that's where it was. It was in a maximum security prison.
That's how we roll.
What was so unique about that number one, that was probably one of my most. I had spoken that year 25 times around the U.S. that year alone.
Yeah.
But that prison was my favorite and most impactful time. Let me tell you why. I had just lost my mom. She had died of stage 4 cancer last year, and I came and they asked me to preach in that prison. And for some reason, my pain of losing my mom taught me so much about connecting with the pain of others,
Right.
and really empathizing and not judging people, but letting we all go through something that is hard, but we can either let it refine us or define us. And that's our choice. Will it refine you and make you a better person? Or will your pain, will you be that bitter person that says, everybody knows you're coming because you've been through something and they can smell it on you. You haven't healed. You haven't grown. You know? And from that moment, I remember doing that prison, man. It was the Ways I Doubt God was the name of that sermon. The Ways I Doubt God.
Yeah.
Because we've all been in moments where we've doubted him. But the beauty of it is in our doubt is when we come alive the most in our life, because he wants to show us that he is actually faithful to what he called us to do. And so from that prison engagement or the speaking or whatever it was a turning point for me to say, oh God, there's so much more people that need the message of hope.
Wow.
And that's what Beyond You Life Coaching, my current business is about. We want to inspire people to not just build a business, but build a place where people can receive healing and hope. Don't just build a company, but build a global movement that can renew communities and change systems and break habits.
Yeah.
Like, I know you guys are keeping up with the news. They got the LA fires going on right now. It's so tragic. But what I loved is, even in the darkest moments, there's always light. And there's companies like Airbnb who's giving free hotel stays and free stays in their Airbnbs across the country. Also, there's places like Uber who's giving rides to homeless shelters for people that may have lost their car in a fire. When you have a business, you have to figure out how to leverage it to serve a purpose.
Right.
Got to serve and got to give back.
Yeah. How can you not just make money, but how can you really make a movement, you know?
Yeah. I agree with that, and I think we can all do some work in that department as far as figuring out how we can help people when it's not necessarily just helping us immediately like that. I saw something recently. There's a wedding venue here, in Monroe, North Carolina, that just closed down, and it was a real high end. Like, the owners was doing too much and wasn't paying the bills and all this kind of stuff, and real exclusive wedding venue, and they just went foreclosed. And a lot of people that have weddings booked there this year are out. Money is gone.
And no refunds either.
No refunds, no nothing.
Oh, man.
So a lot of other people in the wedding community are trying to, come together and help those, help some of those impacted couples out. Like, hey, we can get DJ service, or we can get, catering. Cause this place had like kind of all inclusive, and now people have already paid, tens of thousands of dollars, and it's just gone. So, we're kind of doing something like that to try and reach out and help where we can, when we can help some of those impacted clients from that venue. So that's important, man. It's important. I'm glad you brought that up, Jayson.
Yeah, well, we have to figure out ways to add value. We have to figure out ways of how to make sure that the system of generosity is built within everything we do. One of the favorite things that I've implemented into my business that I stole from Elevation is that every dollar that goes into Elevation goes out to 12% goes out to the community.
Okay.
Well, that's the same model in my business, that we donate a portion of everything we make in Beyond You Life Coaching to sex trafficking, to community things. We give. We start with generosity because we believe in that flow of making sure that people are taken care of. And we've been blessed to be able to do that,
Yeah, that's great.
Amazing.
Yeah, it really is. I want to go back a little bit because I know you mentioned that you had some other endeavors, and I want to hear about some of the other projects that you had early on, some of the other ideas, because one idea sparks another, and there's people that's going to be watching it that had they had this idea for a business, this one didn't work out, so now they're going back to work. I want to hear, what you did, what these businesses were, how you pivoted, when you decided, okay, this ain't it, let's go on.
Yeah. So I first started my first coaching business 8 years ago, and I was doing part-time youth ministry and part-time coaching. And so as
Okay.
I began to get more involved in becoming an executive youth pastor that was overseeing, I had to let some of that business go, but I kept some clients. And so those clients actually end up being the people that really said, Jason, you may have something more in your life than just what you're currently doing. One of them was my
Wow.
friend Darren Williams. He
Okay.
owns a business called Achieve Medical Weight Loss. They help people lose weight in a medical way that's safe and efficient. So when I met
Mhm.
him, he was older than me. He was about 20 years older than me, but we just
Wow.
connected on a real level. And so
Mm-hmm.
we would meet
Yeah.
up at Cracker Barrel once a week, every week, and we would go over his business financials, his company structure. He would ask me questions. And I was just like, just giving what I had learned in school and learned in life and what I was doing for my
Mhm.
own company. And we would just had a good energy. So he invited me to Wilmington, North Carolina. It's before I lived here in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
He invited
Okay.
me to come speak to his executive team. And he said, Jason,
Wow.
I want you to come speak to my executive team. I'm going to pay for everything for you and your wife and family. Just come and pour into them. And when I
Wow.
got done doing that event and seeing how people were impacted in the business world by
Mhm.
what I was saying, I was like, there's more to me than just what I've done in church all my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more. So you got to find what's inside of you that may be a little bit more than what people expected.
Mm-hmm.
I always
Yeah.
say you have to go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
Yeah.
You have to
Mm.
go where
For
you're
sure.
celebrated, not where you're
Yeah.
tolerated.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
spaces just
But-
tolerate your gift. Some spaces just tolerate your voice. Some
Mm-hmm.
spaces will celebrate it. And what I found
Mhm.
in the business world, my voice of encouragement and inspiration was celebrated because
Mm-hmm.
it was so
Yeah.
hard to build and people needed to be lifted up. Well,
Yeah.
when I started interning at Elevation, we were making a whopping $400 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I was married and I
Yeah.
had a kid. How
Yeah.
many know that's
Mm.
not enough to live, guys? That's not
Yeah.
Nah,
enough.
it's not.
I was
Not enough.
broker than broke.
Right.
One of the
Man.
hardest moments that I always love to share in my journey is that at one point we had got down so low, we had ran through all of our savings, is that we had an eviction notice on our door. It was scary.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
was almost 9 years ago
Yeah.
where I
Wow.
was like, okay, as a man, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
my coaching business, part-time at that time, was
Mhm.
able to get us out. One of my clients sent me a check for triple what he said, Jason, you've been so impactful. He had lost his wife that year and I had walked
Bless
him
you.
through it. And he
Uh-huh.
sent triple what my normal rate was and covered me for the rest of the year.
Wow.
So
Wow.
one moment, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
one
that's a
moment,
blessing.
exactly. And if I had to let that business go, if I had to let that idea go, if I had not have
Mhm.
poured in to what I was given as a leader, I
Right.
wouldn't have had the resource to even provide for my family.
Right.
So I
Mm.
don't know where, like you said today, before I got on, y'all were talking about, hey, even in the down season, you can still be building.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
still be
Yeah.
reading.
Yeah.
There's
You
gonna be
can still be
something to do.
networking. You can
Yeah.
hop on this podcast. I believe this is a great
Yeah.
podcast right here. They
Yeah.
need to
This
get
way
on
to,
here.
Thank you,
great way
brother.
to build.
Yeah.
Meet new people, man.
Yeah.
One of my
Yeah.
And
one of
just
my
to kind of
cheat
get
codes,
your reps
guys.
up
I'm gonna
if
give
you
y'all
need
the
some
cheat
help
codes.
talking.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I play pickleball 3 times a week. A lot of my clients in my coaching business has come from pickleball. If you haven't tried it, don't knock it till you try it.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I might have to try it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I
We were
think
thinking
I
about
got a
getting
sweater I
into
can
it.
tie around my neck a little bit, you know?
Yeah, we were thinking about getting into it because my wife and I play tennis a lot, and now we're 47 years old, so we're starting to get we need them lines to come in a little bit.
Yeah, buddy. We're gonna
Yeah, we can't run that whole court anymore.
yeah, we're gonna have to shorten this, put some cones down.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Exactly. Hey, I want to touch on one thing real quick. When Jason was talking about that $400 a week, that was an intern. Like, I don't want people to get confused and think that's how much the church is paying people. That was an intern 10 years ago at $400 a week.
Yeah, Lord have mercy. My stomach started hurting.
Yeah, but
Now, in all fairness, I want to double down on that. In all
Yeah.
fairness, they say, "Hey, are you sure?" And I say, "Yes." So I agreed. It ain't their fault; it's mine.
yeah,
I
That's
said
right.
yes.
that's
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
That's
But
right.
sometimes, and this is true in life and leadership, there will be sacrifice you will have to make to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go higher.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go deeper and make that sacrifice it requires.
Right.
If you want a better business this year, you're going to have to put some investment into courses and things you don't know. If you want a better body this year, you're going to have to go to the gym double the time that you went last year. You're going to have to eat healthier. Whatever it is in your life that you want to see grow, you have to know there is a sacrifice associated. So I don't look on that time as a slight to the church or a slight to my season.
Right.
I'm so grateful I learned how to live on little, because it molded me to be able to steward now the blessings that are coming through my coaching business, reaching corporations and CEOs. Now I know what to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it seemed like the gentleman that you would meet for lunch or what have you at the Cracker Barrel, it seemed like as if he was a mentor to you along the way.
Well,
which I
would say it like
think is
this.
important. And then let's say it like, okay.
He was my business mentor and I was his spiritual mentor. That's how he says it. But now his company started with two locations. Now they have over 20.
Wow.
And now I'm able to lead and develop his people, him, coaching his executives, because I started with him when he was just beginning, when he was just building it. It was grossing over $2 million a year. Now he does that in 1 week. Wow. And so when you grow with people, when you invest in people, you never know where it may lead. You never know where it may grow into. And that, once again, that was over now, really, honestly, 12 years ago. That was 12 years ago of relationship building, of investment. And now that I'm full time, it's come back 100-fold. And so you got to continue to build your network and invest in people, even when they don't have as much. Or even when you're doing it, I think you said it before, you're doing it for free at first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you would do it for free.
Yeah, something that you would be doing for free anyway. Exactly. That's what
as I always say, we'll take the compensation too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another important thing I wanted to get you to talk about a little bit, Jayson, is your wife. Talk about, you know, what that struggle was like when the eviction notice was there, you know, and how important it is to have a partner that trusts you and believes in you and supports, you know, what this dream and passion is.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. That's invaluable. Yes,
Give you a minute
truly
to stun
is
on it a little bit.
I know, right? Charmaine is the secret weapon to everything that I do. She's a secret sauce. Without her stability and care and nurturing and belief in me, if a wife is on here right now, the greatest thing you can do for your man is believe in him. It's truly believe in him. But she would tell you guys that she didn't believe in nothing. She has saw me grind and build and get educated. I'm not lazy by any means. She knew that God's hands was on my life. And so for her, it was easy. So you hear that story and you think panic. For her, it was like, hey, we'll figure it out together. So you need someone that's equally invested into you as you are into them. Yeah. And Charmaine is that person. She knows that I would give up anything to see her succeed. So she's willing to do the same for me. And also our children, I actually have 2 kids now, Grayson and Lavender. One's a boy, one's a girl. Grayson is 10 and Lavender is 7. And we're now they're able to see that our relationship is authentic and it's real. And it's built off trust in hard times. And so in that hard time, Charmaine didn't flinch. She didn't think about leaving. She didn't think about what are we going to do. Number one, we knew the power of prayer and belief in what God could do. But she also knew that I was willing to do whatever it took to make sure our family would win. And fortunately, we didn't have to sell anything. I didn't have to get an extra job because God had already led us to that place where he was going to provide. We maybe had to panic about it for 1 week. 1 week we were like, okay, what we really going to do? Do we have to sell a kidney or something? And then
go to Facebook Marketplace.
And you know what? Every story doesn't work out like mine. Some stories do get pretty dark. Mine didn't get as dark as it could have gotten. But Charmaine was the light that kind of continued to keep me motivated. And even me doing this business and leaving Elevation Church, which, come on, somebody, it was a full-time salary. I became a campus pastor. I'm over a large community. When I transitioned out, she had no fear. She was like, it's about time. She actually wanted me to start this and go full time
Yeah.
2 years ago. 2 years ago, she was like, let's
Yeah.
do this. You're ready.
Yeah.
I know you are.
Wow.
I've seen the
That's
results. I
awesome.
know you got clientele. So Charmaine is she's that little engine that
Yeah.
continues to
Yeah.
push me.
That's
But
important.
Yeah.
it's
Very
important to know that it was not without investment. So
Right.
you know the quote goes, the grass is greener on the other side. I disagree. It's greener where you water it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
And so
okay.
when my wife left teaching, she got her master's in education. She wanted to be a principal, but she was tired of teaching. And she quit her job around COVID 2020. We pivoted her entire life and career after 10 years of teaching into her starting her own business. Then she went into real estate, and now she's helping me manage and run my business.
Mm-hmm.
And so we pivoted her 3 times into a new season of her life. So she was like, Jayson, you've been there for me, so I have to be here for you. You're ready now. So she's the one, man.
Yeah.
I married
That's what you got to have, man. And my story is a little bit similar. I've told it before, but when I was working a full-time job, when I met my wife, I was DJing on the side. And when she met me and she knew I was a DJ, she said, well, does he have a real job? She thought that wasn't a job, right? But I had a real job.
It's a job.
Fast forward to years later, it was her that inspired me to quit my job and to pursue this, my DJ company, full time. And it's been 3 years of that now. And without her blessing, without her, saying, hey, I think you should do this. Like I would have never said it out loud to her, but she said, I think it's time for you to just get rid of this job and just do this thing. And that worked out perfectly. So that's important.
So important.
Now, how about the struggles of balancing that family life with the wife and the kids and time management when it comes to how much you're pouring into your business and still having time for the family?
Yeah, man. Oh, man. It is such. I think I had more of a challenge when I was a full-time campus pastor than I do as a business owner.
Yeah.
Because the needs of my congregation, was great. I had a lot on my plate, a lot on my shoulders. Yeah, but it taught me how to integrate my family into everything. So I don't try to prioritize is a word that we try to use when we think about family and God. But better than prioritize, I say integrate. Integrate ensures that it's a continual flow of time and energy if it's integrated. If it's prioritized, it has the ability to be deprioritized.
Okay.
And so you have to figure out, I have to figure out how to bring my family and my son and my daughter and my wife along with me as I'm building. So if there's speaking engagements, they can come on. Like they came on half of my speaking engagements last year. If there's a company that I'm working for, I asked, like my friend Darren, he bought an executive suite for me and my kids where we had a living room, we had multiple bedrooms, we had a kitchen. So as I'm speaking, my wife and family are at the beach and they like, thanks, Dad. You're working real hard so we can go to the beach.
That's right. That's great though. That's smart.
Integration. It's an integration. And I heard something this morning from the writer of the show. What's the show with the woman that is Olivia?
Scandal.
Olivia Scandal.
Yeah.
Scandal. The writer of Scandal. She was she's a mother with 3 kids. 3 kids. And she says, a lot of people look at me and say, how am I able to be a single mother of 3 kids and do all that I do? And she said it very honestly. She says, I don't. She says, I know that sometimes when I'm writing a script and rewriting, I'm missing bath time. I know sometimes that when I'm at my daughter's recital, I'm missing an opportunity with the network. I know that when I'm at the office trying to make sure we hit deadlines, I'm missing an important engagement that my son may have or my daughter may have had. She says, but I know when I'm with my daughter, I'm missing opportunity. You cannot win everywhere.
That's true.
And that's what she said. And I have learned that I can't win everywhere. But when I'm with my family or when I'm with my company, I'm fully present. Knowing that it's integrated into my life so I don't have to worry. And my wife is a great coach as well because, oh yeah, her name is Shonda Rhimes.
She keeps
Thank you,
coming in
Charmaine.
right on time when you're mentioning her. She's right there.
Yeah,
Shonda Rhimes.
as she could, right?
So look her up, man. It's very inspiring to be a single mother of 3 girls, you know, but highly successful. Integration of your family is essential. So my wife is not. She said today, she says, I feel like you're assistant. I said, no, you're not. You're not my assistant. I said, you are my co-owner. And don't you ever call yourself anything less. You own this because when the company get paid, you get to spend the money.
That's
so
right.
you are the co-owner.
That's right. That's how it works.
Yeah, I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Jayson.
Shout out to all the wives that are watching. I know the
big
boss
shouts,
lady,
big
the boss lady will be watching later as well with Juan. So shout out to all the wives.
Absolutely, man. But if you can integrate it and really try to find a rhythm, I try to sit down with my family. We actually do an exercise at the end of every year where we go over our entire year, our wins, our losses, what do we learn, how do we grow as a family. And we prioritize and put into place integration of vacations, date nights. I schedule my family before I schedule anything else. So there's time on the calendar for the things that matter to me. And then I can then have my business be integrated into what I'm already integrating with my family. So there's overlap in everything I do. I try to have overlap as much as I can. If I can bring my family or my son or my daughter or my wife, I'm bringing them. I'm like, hey, I talked to a CEO. Hey, if you want me, you got to bring them. One CEO said, yeah, we'll fly them all out. He was like, if that's what you need, Jayson. Because you got to figure out how to integrate and bring them along with you so they so there won't be resentment. I don't want my daughter looking at me when she's 16 saying, man, Dad, you really didn't prioritize me or love me. I want to figure out how to integrate my family into everything.
Yeah. And that presence is way better than any presence you could give them, just being there, you know? So, that's great. Integration. I'm borrowing that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm taking that one home with me. Juan says he just hired the boss lady. Oh yeah, she works with this company now. So does that make me her employee? Yes. You are her employee, exactly.
You hired her. Hey, Juan, you know,
you hired your
boss is always right. And then rule number 1, the boss is always right. Rule number 2, when the boss is wrong, refer to rule number 1.
That's right.
I love it. I love it so much.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. I'm coming out of here with some jewels this week, man. I'm coming into 2025 strong with y'all.
That's what it's all about, man. You're starting off on the right foot. That's what it's all about.
For sure. I'm gonna put this podcast on a loop in my earphones.
There you go.
Let Midas and Jayson keep talking to me.
You've been saying
that's what we're here for.
Man.
So Jay, where do you see?
One thing I want to mention that I said earlier is our network partnership for business owners it can get lonely. That's what we do now. You know, you can be looking for clientele, trying to grow your company, and you can feel alone. Well, our partnership, we meet once a month and we really grow one another. I have people from all industries in this network, and that is the literal thing. Our goal is to have 100 different network partners this year and continue to grow into 1,000 in 5 years, where this network can serve one another. Because like, let's say in my business, I know someone that needs a DJ, and I actually did. I had a client that needed a DJ. And because I knew someone, I called them. Well, if you're in the network, if I have someone that needs business that I can't provide, I can refer it out to you. And I think this network has begun to work for each other, where if I refer you someone, I get a percentage, but you also get to have money that you didn't have because you were out alone versus with a community. And so this is a great community that we're building at BeyondYou. And we're seeing the fruit of it as we're bringing in different levels and layers of business owners. And so if you're a business owner out there looking for community, looking for partnership where you can grow your business, but also serve others, man, this network is for you. And we're excited to be building it in this season.
Yeah, that's great, man. You answered my next question, which was going to be, where do you see your life coaching in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah.
You just answered that. But for
Yeah.
someone that
Psychic.
wants to get involved and they want to join this network and they want to, be involved with what you're doing with Beyond You Life Coaching, how can they do that?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna answer your question more thoroughly because I subscribe to the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.
Me too.
And one of his habits is start with the end in mind. Start with the end in mind. And so before I began Beyond You Life Coaching, I saw 1,000 network partners. I saw us impacting 1,000,000+ people. We will be a global organization that reaches business owners, entrepreneurs, and executive leaders all around the world. And so because of that, I can't do that alone. I want partners. I don't want people that work for me. I want people that work with me.
Yes.
And so everyone in my network has their own LLC. They are not my employee. They are my partner. And I want to be able to provide them with the tools and the resources to grow their business, to get referrals, and to be the best leader that they can possibly be. So as I'm building organizations and leaders for Beyond You, I'm also building the network. And if you want to be a part of that, you can go to our website where you can get all the information. It's Beyond You Life Coaching. You can email me at jason.vprice@gmail.com. Email me directly. I love being able to talk to people one-on-one.
Got a little lag, but we'll be all right.
We're going to get there. Okay,
you got it. You back.
Yeah. But I would love to be able to talk to you personally. And I don't mind doing this. I know this may be a little radical, but also my personal cell phone number is 731-394-8159. If you want to talk to me, if you want to connect and learn more about what we do, how to get in this partnership, text me directly. We would definitely be willing to have a conversation because I believe in this. And I believe in every single business owner that wants to grow and create a life for their family and their legacy. That's what it's about. Beyond you means if it's not about you, it will live beyond you. It's about legacy.
Yeah.
It's about going beyond yourself to serve those that you are called to impact. So,
awesome.
Travis, that's the 5-year, 10-year, 100-year plan.
And putting your cell phone number out might have appeared radical before we met Juan.
Yeah.
Now that Juan, we see Juan do it every week, I'm desensitized to it being radical now. You know?
What used to be radical is now normal.
It used
Put your
to
number
be,
on the internet.
It's kind of normal now.
Absolutely. And you gotta be glad to be different. You know, that's one of my clients. That's one of his quotes. You gotta be glad. Difference is how we truly stand out within this very crowded market of business.
Absolutely.
Sure.
You know, you got to have your unique stance and your unique voice. And so that's what I like about both of you, Famous and Midas. You guys are very unique in your voice and your presentation. That's why you have a community like you do that's thriving because of how you present yourself in a way that nobody else does. And so I love that about you.
I appreciate that, man.
Thank you so much.
And we appreciate you being on with us today. And we always like to end it off with some words. You've been giving us words of wisdom the whole show.
I'm taking all these jewels to the pawn shop when we get off here.
For sure. There's going to be tons of sound bites here. But for all of our viewers that's going to be watching live or will be watching later on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, what are some words of advice, words of wisdom for someone that's looking to step into their path or their journey into business ownership or being coached?
I think this is the most cliche thing I can say, but it's so true to my story, and it's true to you guys as you are on your 117th episode, which is amazing, which deserves a freaking applause.
Thank you, man.
Season 4, episode 2. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
And
I'll do a little bit.
You would say this, it's not been easy to get to this spot.
Yeah.
It's not been easy to get to where I am leading a group and an organization. But the number one thing is don't give up. I've been really reteaching this principle in the Bible where the parable of talents, where the master gave one talent, he gave one 3, and he gave one 5. And the one with 5 made 10. The one with 3 made 6. The one with 1
buried
buried
his.
My number one advice is don't bury what God blessed you
Don't
with.
bury it.
Don't
Multiply
put it underground. Don't let the world see who you are and show up and don't give up. Because if you stay consistent in what you believe, you will meet with success when you least expect it. You never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. You never know.
That's very true.
On
Very true.
LinkedIn, I read one article where this guy, he was about to give up his marketing company. And he decided to just try one last time. And a multi-millionaire partner reached out to him and changed his life because he posted one more time.
One more time.
So I need you not to give up. I need you to post one more time. I need you to show up one more time. I need you to go and do what you love to do with all your heart. Show up with everything you have one more time, because you will be held accountable for not multiplying what God put inside of you. So multiply. I don't care if you take 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 4 to 15, or 5 to 50. Multiply it.
Multiply.
Your legacy and your life depends on it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I hit you with that one, man.
Good stuff.
Got to get my DJ. Jayson, man, we do appreciate you being with us today. I'm going to ask my man Midas for the benediction, and then we're going to sign off. But stay on with us. Stay on with us, Jayson.
Yeah. Well, before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, we thank Mr. Jayson Price for joining us today. It was, an awesome chat. I gained many things that I could take from the conversation today, and I feel motivated. That's the thing. What we like to do, we like to meet here on Tuesdays and just get, if you don't get anything else, get some motivation to get through not just the rest of the day, but get through the rest of the week. Because you know, at the way life is now, you got to take it just a day at a time. You know, so we appreciate him so much. Shout out to our following out there on YouTube. Shout out to our following on Facebook, Instagram. You know, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch. We thank you guys so much for joining us today. Real quick, I want to just say special shout out to the following out in LA. We do have a few members of our community that are out in that Los Angeles area. Miss Rhonda Badiki and LA Lim, Davi Davenport. Those three come to mind right off the bat. Also Shelly Verdine, our Earth, Wind, and Fire family. All those that are out there, we have you in our thoughts and prayers. You know, we're thinking of you guys, praying for you guys, and hopefully they can resolve these issues very quickly. But these are the times in which we live, the end times. It's a lot going on, but we definitely want to keep you all in mind. And with that being said, we had a wonderful time today, and I think we're going to do this again next Tuesday, if it's all right with you guys. We're running consistency, Jayson. Like you said, it's not always easy. Sometimes, especially in the thick of things, we're busy and we're pulling our guests in. But we realize it just with this platform and everything else that we do, you got to be consistent if you want to expect any type of results. So
exactly,
you know. So with that being said, we're going to do this again next Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And shout out to everybody nationwide, globally. It's the global takeover too.
That's right. And whatever you do not watch this podcast and get back into bed. It's time to go.
No, get up. How can you lay down? How can you lay down after this?
Now.
Even if it's 2 a.m. and you just listen to this, you need to get up and watch some dishes or something. But when you increase your net worth, you increase your net worth. Yeah, absolutely. So we had a great time, man. And Jayson, you had any final things? Famous, you guys got anything you want to say? Jayson, any last closing words?
Last closing words. We're going to be doing a leadership conference for business owners and entrepreneurs in May. So be on the lookout. I have more details coming y'all way so you can announce it. And also I'll be releasing my first book called Leadership Betrayal, a guide to overcoming being betrayed in your life. And so I'm excited to see what happens this year, man, and excited for you guys as well.
Yes, definitely. Keep us posted, man. We're going to make sure we always promote it and advertise it and put links up in our community as well.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you
following
so
them
much.
on Facebook now too as well. So yeah, that's great, man. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks again. Jason, stay on the line. After we dismiss, we'll say goodbye to you separately. But we
All right,
appreciate you
cool.
guys. Thank you. Much love. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Peace, love.
Peace.